welcome once again to our daily Limbus company mirror dungeon and ID study. My name is G4, and today we will be looking at the Molar office, another set of Tremor IDs, a callback for Library of Ruin, but not a Walpurgisnacht set of IDs. Today we're going to be studying them, we're going to be using them for a mirror dungeon as per usual. We shall not be going further than floor 5 as per usual, it takes far too much time to do that. Word of warning, we'll have to contend with someone else singing sometimes in the room I am currently at, for she's quite happy, and I don't want to interrupt her happiness, and she does like to sing. Without any further ado, let's get started. The first ID we're going to be looking is the Molar Office Fixer Yi Sang. He is fatal against Pierce, but resistant against Slash. Possesses 224 health, speed on the 4-7 range with 58 defense level, which is lower than the usual for level 16. But his attacks also standing at 58, 62, and 65 offense level. So this is a very attack-oriented ID, but his skill 1 sucks ass. First thing that we're gonna see is his passive. In times like these, it's a 3 slough owned. Upon triggering Tremor Burst on an enemy, inflict 1 defense level down per 4 stagger threshold raised, max 5 per 1 enemy every turn. I see. So I don't understand how Tremor Burst works exactly. Raise target's tremor threshold by tremor potency or target. Alright, so when we pop Tremor Burst and a target has 4 tremor potency, we inflict a defense level down with a maximum of 5 at 20 tremor potency, which shouldn't be a problem for a tremor team on the mirror dungeon. Skill 1, a 3-4-4, 11 roller as per usual, and it has only a 58 offense level. If the skill is discarded, he gains 4 tremor count on self. On use it, he gains tremor count, and at 5 plus tremor count, he gains plus 1 coin power, making this a 13 roller. It has 2 coins, and on second hit, he inflicts tremor. So this is a very tremor applier and a tremor knockoff charge user, like tremor, self-tremor is basically charge. Skill 2, Gambo. It's a 16 roller, well within the basic range of skills 2. So far so good for a double O ID. It has 62 offense level, which is higher than his current level. If this skill is discarded, he gains plus 4 tremor count. On use, discard 1 skill of the lowest rank in all of these units' skill slots. Inflict plus 3 tremor count. At 5 plus tremor count, he triggers Tremor Burst and reduces that tremor by 2. So, once we are at the plus 5 tremor count, we can trigger Tremor Burst with our skill 2. Noted. I'm not gonna write that down, it's gonna go automatic. Skill 3, Grinding the Molar, a 4-3-3-3, making this a 13 roller. Incredibly low for skill 3, but this is again a 0-0 ID. On use, he discards 1 skill, and on use, he spends 10 tremor count to gain coin power plus 2. With a coin power plus 2, this becomes a 19 roller. Still pretty low for a skill 3 so far, but better than having no power at all. So, magical number is having 10 tremor count on self. It inflicts 4 tremor, and if the skill spends tremor count, he triggers Tremor Burst on the first coin and on the third coin. Third coin inflicts defense level down as well. Welcome, City Trauma. Hello. We're finishing looking at Molar Office Fixer Yi Sang here, and we're going to be moving on to Otis. Third coin inflicts 2 defense level down, so he can possibly inflict 5 up to 7 defense level down, which is pretty damn nice. If you remember, the defense level down equals more damage dealt to the enemy. Right. Defense. On use, he discards 1 skill of the lowest rank in all of these units' skill slots. The only skill of his set that cannot discard is the first one. It's a 11 roller and goes to a 13 roller. It's not bad, but there are better skills 1s out there, especially with a 58 offense level. So this skill here exists only to be discarded or replaced. Finish Canto 9. Congratulations, how was it for you? Let's get some ego on this boy before we move on to Otis. So we are going to be using, I forgot to see his sins, how silly of me. Lust, Sloth, and Wrath. Sorry, here we go. Lust, Sloth, and Wrath. Let's see. We have this one that requires Sloth and Gloom. We don't generate Gloom, I think. Sun Shower is also Sloth Heavy, Gloom, Gluttony, and Pride. Great Tutorial Cosm, I don't know how that one works, so I'm not going to use it yet. I guess we could put Dimension Shredder because Foul Bullet is only good if we are killing teammates. Moving on to Otis, the Molar Office Fixer, Olga, on Library of Ruin. She is fatal to Pierce but resistant against Slash, so we must avoid Pierce teams as like the plague, especially something like Pequod Town. Molar Office Fixer Otis possesses 3 Wrath, True Lust, and 1 Sloth, so we do not generate Gloom at all. So those gifts that we got will necessitate, those eagles, sorry, that we are equipped on Yiseng, and probably on Otis, will necessitate a eagle resource generating gift. Ring killing himself with a spork, indeed, because the gods of the city are cruel jokesters. I was going to die from bleeding at some point anyway. Moving on, her passive, it's a 5 Sloth owned. Upon triggering Tremor Burst on an enemy, she inflicts 30% of the raised stagger threshold as Sloth damage, max of 20, rounded down. Very nice, it's just a little bit of extra damage when you Tremor Burst someone, and it goes up to 20 damage if the target has plenty of Tremor potency. It's very nice. There are better passives out there, but who am I to say no to free damage? It is Sloth damage, so enemies that have Sloth weakness will take 40, so that's pretty nice. Skill 1, Wait Up, a 11 roller. Baseline skill 1 material here. If the skill is discarded, she gains 4 tremor count. On use, she gains another 2 tremor count. At 6+ tremor count, she gains final power +2, making this a 13 roller. It is at 61 offense level, so that's 1 extra offense level we have here compared to Yiseng's. She has 57 defense level, 211 health, and 37 speed. She is slower, more fragile than Yiseng, but her skill 1 has more offense level. So she is an even more damage-oriented character, meaning that this run will be 2 very fragile characters. On hit, lower the user's stagger threshold for every tremor count on self. So she does some sort of reverse tremor burst, where she, instead of like becoming more susceptible to stagger, she actually lowers her stagger threshold, delaying the upcoming stagger with her skill 1. Skill 2, Slice. It is a 18 roller, about 1.2 points extra power extra than our usual skill 2s. It has a 64 offense level, that is very good. If the skill is discarded, she gains 1 offense level up. On use, she discards the skill of the lowest rank in all of these units' skill slots. So we gotta take care of this always. It's discarded skill in all of the units' skill slots, not just the first one. Inflicts true tremor, at 6 tremor count, trigger tremor burst, reduce stagger's tremor count by 1. So the target must, she must have always 6 tremor on self so that her skill true is able to tremor burst. So magical number 1, having 6 tremor count on self for both the final power on her skill 1 and for the tremor burst on her second skill. Her second skill has no extra damage, so it's always going to be our humble 18 here. 18, yeah. Which is pretty good. Most skill 2s are around 16, but some of them reach up to 20, so 18 is not bad, but there are better options out there. Finally, the skill 3, a Daring Decision. Daring Decision is a 4-3-3-3-3, making this a 17 roller once again. 17? No. Sorry, math kind of hard today. 12 plus 4, 16 roller. Very low for skill 3, but let's see. She spends 10 tremor count on self to gain coin power +2. Once she got that 10 tremor count, she's rolling a 24. Now that's pretty good. There are better skill 3s out there, we have seen them, but 24 is nothing to scoff at, and again at 65 offense level. I'm gonna be honest, fighting Roach Gregor was easy for us. Once you know what to do, he became super easy. That's the entire game, my friend. Once you read what the boss do and understand, it becomes really easy. Once you know what you're doing, everything becomes easy. The problem is the first time you fight him, you don't know what you're doing. Unless you got spoiled or decide to stop and read. That's why I do this whole thing where I come here and I talk about an ID so we understand how they work and how can we squeeze the most power out of them. Once we know what we're doing, it's very easy. Right, magical number here is 10 Tremor Self for skill 3. She inflicts 4 Tremor, and if she did spend Tremor, inflicts 3 Tremor count. Trigger Tremor Burst. After Tremor Burst, reduce the target Tremor. This is very interesting. She does 3 Tremor Bursts in a row. And because of her passive, which doesn't have a limit, as long as the enemy has high Tremor and plenty of Tremor count, at least 3 Tremor count, she can do up to 60 extra damage for no reason. G4, I didn't read. How did you know what to do? If you said, well, if you know what to do, he's very easy. Did you get spoiled on his fight? Any case. Looking for Tremor. Alright, so magical number, 10 Tremor on self. If target has 3 Tremor on their Tremor count on their body, we can do a triple Tremor Burst with extra damage from her passive. And finally, her defense, it's nothing to look at, it's a 60 defense. Discard the skill of lowest rank of all these unit skill slots. It's a 17 block. No, I didn't. Then, congratulations, you did pretty well. Alright, no sanity effects, no nothing. Alright, that is our 2 IDs that we're going to be using for the day. Let's get some ego on these boys. She has 1 Tremor. Ego, I think this is Tremor, right? Yes. It does have a passive. There we go, you knew what to do. Most people didn't, so at the first time they don't let Verg clash against the green. Most people didn't know that, so you did know something about what to do in the fight. You didn't go in completely blind. Once I read Excision coins absorb all of the positive effects on the target, I already knew that I shouldn't let Virgilius do it, because Virgilius is full of buffs. Yet again, I read the bosses, so I kind of do this every day. Like, Sun Shower gives us poise, Magical Bullet can be used, Dimension Shredder is it's a slash AoE, so Ebony Stand is just a better Pierce AoE, however. And Zying, I never actually used this one. What does it do? I see. Oh, sorry. Custom envy readers. This is for envy residents. We don't use it. All right. This is the 2. Yeah, you should use Durante. So it's it's a power you have, and it's a 2 in your possession. You should always use it when you can. Now, we have Eagles. We have read their kits. We know their magical numbers now, which I need to write down actually, so I keep it track. I didn't memorize the magical numbers. Sorry. It's 5 Tremor Self. That's 1. 5 Tremor. This one doesn't have magic number, and this one is 10 Tremor Self. Self S3. That's for Yisang. Let's see. This one is automatic, so nothing special here. As for Otis, our magical number is 6 for skill 1. Nothing on the skill 2. No, actually, there is. 6 Tremor Self S1. And then 6 Tremor Self S2. Finally, the last one is 10 Tremor Self for S2. So, similar to our previous run with the Deviant Association, we are going to be looking to getting as much Tremor as possible. Let's see. Her passive is upon triggering Tremor Burst. This is going to be automatic, so nothing I don't even need to keep track of this because it happens every time a Tremor Burst happens, and that's pretty much it. Right away, I already know one of the IDs we're going to be bringing to support it, and it's going to be District 20 Eurodeve, because it has a chance of another Tremor Burst. So we are going to take him right away. No question, no competition here. Let's go back to Faust. Tremor Faust is... Faust only has one Tremor ID, right? It's Lobotomy Ego. Clash with all slowest ally has one clash power. They have 2 traps and negative effects. I guess since our second sinner is going to be actually the slowest sinner, he's a 4-7 and she is a 3-7. She might be the slowest one, so she's gonna get extra clash power, which is okay, I guess. I didn't see our damage types. What are our damage types? We are Pierce, Blunt, Blunt, Slash, Blunt, Blunt. Mostly Blunt. How can she help us? This is for critical with a slash. This is for gluttony, which we don't generate, and it's a resonance. This is for pierce. This is for burn. This is for lust, sanity. Yeah, I guess we're taking Lobotomy Ego, regret. Don, 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 don. How can you help a tremor team? With discard. Dawn also doesn't have very good tremor units. She does have the T-Corp. Let's see. T-Corp. When an ally with the slowest speed takes damage from enemies with tremor, takes 10% less damage. I take it. It's very nice. Ryoshu. She does possess a tremor unit now, but it requires someone that inflicts sinking. We do not have anyone that inflicts sinking on this thing, unfortunately. So we're going to check the District 20 Eurodeve, which is another one that I have to do sometime. Number one, the player ally gains 1 more tremor coin from their skill or coin effects 2 times per turn. This will accelerate how much tremor Otis gets to empower her skills, so we're going to be taking that. Merso has, to support us with tremor, Rose Penner Workshop Fixer, which is on a resonance for gloom when we do not have gloom. Unfortunate. Let's see. The Thumb East Capo, I believe he is for bullet support, so he can't help us. We do have this card, so when an ally with a high X HP discards a skill, he gains HP shield. If this unit has insight, multiply the above shield value by 1.5. It is a 5-owned gloom. We don't generate gloom, but it's a good enough passive to keep. We could take the little brother for sanity regeneration, which is always nice, but I prefer having the shield since this is going to be a dual run. Moving on to Heathcliff. Heathcliff possesses Ufi Association Self-Section. He has 6 Pride owned. The ally with a fast speed gains Clash Power +1 to skill that apply Tremor, Potency, or Count, increasing even more the Clash Power on Otis. Unless we have something else here that worked with discard, blunt, or tremor, which I do not think we have. I mean, Heathcliff base does have more blunt damage for the ally with the lowest max HP, and 2 of our skills with Otis is it's blunt damage, so it really is the choice between 1 Clash Power or 10% more damage. I will take the more Clash Power. For Ishmael, we shall be seeing she doesn't possess very good support tremor. Fast speed trigger tremor to inflict to rupture. The She Association Heathcliff, he gives support as in a Wrath Resonance. The ally with the least HP deals and takes 20% more damage. It doesn't help with blunt, but it does give more damage, which is, I suppose, pretty good, but our Wrath is on a skill 1 and on a skill 3. It could happen, it could be used. Sorry about the dog. Again, he's not in pain, he just wants to get inside because, again, dogging heat in the house, and he's a male dog, you know how it goes. Let's see. Ishmael does not have very good support for tremor. We do have the Zwei Association East, which is Pride, which we don't generate, for more defense level ups, which this team doesn't have good defense levels, so this might be good. I don't know. This one is for speed is basically heads hit and hits speed. This is just to get more sanity. We don't have a sanity healer, so might be a good choice here. Assistant manager just gives more defense power, I guess. It's a resonance we can't use. If they don't, I will take Ufi Heathcliff because his passive is owned, not resonance. Owned resources can be acquired through Eagle resource generating gifts or by choosing the card that gives you, Eagle resources. So while we can't generate the sin to activate it, we can eventually get it and have it activate. Let's see Rodion. Rodion might just stay on her base. Let's check her T-Corp first. Resonance on fast speed, clash power, and clash attacks with 5 trust tremor. Sorry about the dog. Rose Spinner Workshop Representative. When an ally with the slowest speed triggers tremor burst, increases stagger threshold raised by 20%. This is pretty nice. I think it's... This is clash. We have the choice between more clash power, more stagger threshold raise, or more damage. I think the stagger threshold raise and the damage kind of cancel each other out, so I will be taking damage, which is a 5-own Wrath. It's easy to get. Clash power, we already have someone giving clash power, and it's a sloth resonance, and while we do have plenty of sloth, I don't like to rely on resonance too much. Sinclair, unless you can help this thing somehow with tremor, you are going to go back on your costume. When ally with the most max speed inflict tremor with effects of their skill and coins. 10% damage or more tremor. I will go for more tremor. This is for bullet, this is for burn, this is for evade and speed, this is for critical, this is for critical, this is for burn rupture, right? Yeah, burn rupture. Moving on to Gregor. Gregor, does Gregor have a good... He's going to the costume, you know he's going to... No, actually not this time, he's going to a different costume. He is going into the beach costume now, because it's the only one where it can help. By the way, probably next stream will be the Molar Boat Works to keep on the team, and then I will start a week of Honglu. So, plus extra tremor, I'll take the plus extra tremor here. Gregor, he has good tremor units, but not a good support tremor unit. Rose Spinner Workshop. 11 slow speed inflicts rupture targets with tremor. Wait, what? One ally with the slowest speed inflicts +1 rupture targets with tremor. Okay, it's the cursed thing of rupture tremor. See, can't use it. Usually he goes into the costume, but not today. Apply to the following ally with the earliest deployment order among those with negative effects. Gains aggro and gains 1 blunt damage up next turn. The aggro is not good because this is a very fragile thing. But the damage up would be nice, I guess. But we're gonna go with G-Corp Manager for that healing on Clash because it's very good. Alright, that is our team. Let's review. Faust is providing us with extra clash power if the target has 3 types of negative effects, which they will have. That is only for the slowest ally. T-Corp Dawn is providing us with less damage taken from enemies with tremor. Ryoshu is providing us with dealing more tremor or gaining more tremor with our own coins for the number 1 deployed unit, accelerating the magical number we need to activate the tremor on self-tremor for the skills. Sorry. Deity Association Merceau is giving us shield on this card. Honglu is giving us on a resonance the chance for another tremor burst, which is very nice. Ufi Heathcliff is giving us more clash power for skills that apply tremor. Ishmael is giving us some sanity heal when we roll tails, when we roll heads. Sorry. Rodion is gonna give us more damage, but I'm thinking about changing it to Deity Association for the fact that she gives more blunt damage up based on the damage they took, giving shields. So with these two together, we actually have a pretty good combo because the Anti-Association Merceau is going to give shields for discards, and this is discard thing, and Rodion is going to give more damage based on the damage we took, compared to her base ID, which I believe it's a... Is it a 20% damage increase? It's a 20% damage increase with all heads coins. But the ally with the most health is Yi Sang, and he's not very good. We can technically gain 30% more damage without damage including the calculation without taking damage 50% chance to start. No, we're gonna be taking Rodion here. We don't want to be taking too much damage. Sinclair is going to be providing us with plus extra tremor for the effect of our attack skills and coins. And Gregor is going to be providing healing on Clash Win. Many of these effects, we do not generate the sins to activate them. In other words, we are going to need a gift to get our ego resources, and we are going to use one. We're going to get it right away. We are going to take Favor of the Nebulae because I don't like when the sinners fall behind simply because of levels. That's lame. Hello Carmen, welcome to the stream once again. This is a self-tremor team, so we are going to be taking the self-tremor effect. Self-tremor gift, sorry. For our ego gifts are started, we're going to be taking the Blue Zippo Lighter, we're going to be taking Phlebotomy, and we're going to be taking Painkillers. Usually I like to take the First Aid, but we're going to choose not to. Simply because we want to activate our passives as early as possible. While sure, later in the dungeon we will find a ego resource generating gift, right now it's not the time. So we must avoid at all costs fighting against enemies that use pierce damage, for both our characters are weak to pierce, but slash is fine. Let's begin then. Let's see here. Starting off, we got To Be Crushed that has Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and this one here for single coins, but I don't think we have single coins. We also have this, but it only affects a third deployed unit. Maybe upgraded will affect other units, I'm not entirely sure. We have 2 tremor gifts here as well, and a healing as well as this to increase the power. We're gonna put Yi Sang on a pair of pink high heels. How about that? Hope for no crabs, as always. Let's deploy the 2 goobers and begin our dungeon proper. Now remembering the magical number for our characters, Yi Sang must have 5 tremor on self to empower his skill 1 and 10 tremor on self to empower his skill 3, while Otis needs 6 for the skill 1 and 2 and 10 for the skill 3. Wait up, it's a single coin but it's wait up. Yeah, but it's a single attack. We're not gonna go for a single for a gift that will benefit only a skill 1 for a singular character. We have... Well, we actually have gambled as a decent attack. So yeah, it would have benefited both of them a little bit. But right now, let's go for extra power, which is better. Also, welcome Wild Hunt. I do believe this is your first time on the stream. Oh, they use Pierce. That's bad. Alright, we are at 6 tremor. We can start powering our skills 1 and 2. And Grinding Molar is going to wait for a little bit because we want to roll this at maximum power. If he doesn't get staggered first, which he did. Alright, we have 10 tremor. I don't... Does his skill 3 consume tremor? If it consumes tremor is a little bad, but if it's not charged, it's kind of like a charge that doesn't go away. I do suppose it's a negative effect, and if you do encounter a unit that does tremor, it's, you know, kind of bad. Let's just check here again. Spend 10 tremor, so he does consume it. Alright, there we go. Big damage, big number.
힘들군.
아, 놀랐네.
그러니 알아서 잘 피해야지.
이만 차릴 줄 알았으면 빨리 좀 하지.
힘 조절이.
This character has a very high offense level for her skills, so it's no wonder she keeps gaining more clash power on the attacks. These slaves, they got like a 56 offense level. They are level 60, but their offense levels are pathetic, while our offense level is big and bogus. 69, 70, 66 because of our empowerment. So,
문제라도 있나?
very good, very nice. Oh yeah, and I did forget, we are a discard team. Where did your tremor go? It's a blunt attack. It's just like a 7 Association Ryoshu, where she has this attack called Slash that deals blunt damage.
옛날에 외부 관으로 뛰던 것이 생각나네. 한 놈만 잡아준다겠더니 일대를 다 쓸어버렸던 놈이 있었지.
Now, if I recall correctly, we can't discard skill 3 and skill 1 doesn't discard, but if it is discarded, we gain tremor. We need 10 tremor for this to activate. It is on use, so we have to use this attack first. What we can do is use a block here first, so it's gonna discard the lowest rank skill in every slot, meaning we're gonna be gaining, let's see, 4. We're gonna be gaining offense level up, another 4 tremor count, that's 8, and then that's 12 tremor count. If it goes the way I'm thinking. And this one gains 4 tremor count, 4 tremor count. That should work, let's see. Now it has to be the block first, but it did consume, it did discard it.
힘들군.
Right?
그러니 알아서 잘 피해야지. 힘들군. 그러니 알아서 잘 힘들군.
Now, here's the trick about these office is that once we got some slots going on, if you do a little bit of mental math to understand how much tremor am I going to have once I use this skill. Because skill 2 and skill 3 for these units discard all of the lowest rank skills in all of their slots. So once they got like 2 to 4 slots going on in their skills, in a single turn they can immediately power up their attack just by discarding. And we can force a discard with a block. Let's check the mystery pack. It's the beetle. I forgot its name. Wound Clarid. It's a bit useless for us, but it is a level 2 gift that we can sell or trade to something else. We will be taking the Pierce. Yeah, we're taking the Pierce. Pierce is level 2 if I recall correctly. If we can pass the test, we can. Ooh. It's a level 2. There we go. We don't use Pierce. We do have a Pierce skill, I believe. Yes, so it's not as good.
잠깐만, 천천히.
Here we go. It's slaves again. Slaves to power. I believe the slaves deserve a little treat. What are you weak to? Slash. You don't say so. I should have packed that Slash ego. Oh well, what about anything else? Just don't use Pierce and yeah, we should be fine. I think you boys deserved a little treat. A little treat? Yeah. So he's gonna gain 4 tremor for discarding. A little treat, a little ego treat. Not the most effective thing in the world, but it does make it easier for the next round. Listen, can you stop being staggered for a second, brother? Alright, let's begin. If we discard, now we're gonna gain 8 tremor count. Not enough to power our skill tree, but if we don't use it, it's discarded anyway, so we gotta use it. Ah, she's gonna get staggered too. Oh no! Again, very offensive IDs. They're very good at taking damage. Very bad at taking damage, sorry. Because they have very poor defense levels. Yiseng, cover up for her. How much tremor you got? 0. So, even if we discard, it's not enough to power up your skill tree, but we're gonna use it anyway. Because of the nature of discard things is that what you have in your hand, use it or lose it. Unlike the previous Deviat Association or the Blood Fiends where you're trying to edge getting your skill tree until you're ready to pop, you have to use it or you lose it. Ow.
이만 찰 줄 알았으면 빨리 좀 하지 그랬냐? 옛날에
Fixer
외부
Blues.
강사로 뛰던
Let's
것이
see.
생각나네.
Gamble is your skill true, right? Right. So by discarding, right, skill discard again for tremor. So you should have 11 tremor by the end of this round, if my calculations are not incorrect. And you will be having 12, am I right? Yeah, that's it. Unless it only applies once for skill, and not by all the skills. No, it's... Alright, okay. Yeah, so I'm sort of correct, but each skill only discards once, it doesn't discard all the skills. Despite saying that it discard one of the skills, so we have to take that into consideration. It's the same as the DHC Association. So my assumption was wrong. It is going to be discarding the lowest skill once we use our skill 2 and 3 in all of our slots, and then 1 per 1. Got it. So each skill 2 and skill 3 discards 1. I understand now. I have been enlightened. So let's understand here. First skill here doesn't discard, nothing happens. Skill 2 here will discard 1 skill of the lowest rank in all of these skills in its slots. The ones that we're not using right now. In this case, it means the skill 1. And then this one here is going to do the same, and it's going to discard this one here. So skill 1s are going to be discarded for most of them. As long as we have a skill 2. It's... how do we put it? We kind of need skill 1s to gain more tremor count, because for Otis, discarding her skill 2 only gives her offense level, not tremor count, which is what we need to power up our skills. So we sort of need more skills 2 than... We need skills... Our deck is kind of like good like this, we shouldn't change it at all. There we go.
한바탕 해볼까? 힘들군. 그러니 알아서 잘 피해야지. 힘들군.
right.
알아서 잘 피해야지.
We can technically offense level max with Otis by replacing her skills 1s with skills 2s. So that every time she discards the skill, it's going to be a skill 2, meaning she gains an offense level. But we are losing on tremor count generation from discarding. Because if you go back here and look at our skills, if this skill is discarded, she gains 4 tremor count. If this skill is discarded, she gains 1 offense level up. And she doesn't gain tremor from her skills 2. Skill 1 gives her tremor on use and on discard. And it gains a little bit of final power if she has enough tremor count on self. Skill 3, however, does not give tremor count at all to self. It only consumes, so we don't want to change their decks at all, because we need the skill 1 for Otis to be discarded so that we can gain tremor to accelerate the power of our skill 3. If we do discard the skill 2, however, it becomes offense level up, which is always nice. And she is a high offense level up character. So we don't want to mess with their decks. Their decks are kind of done here. Same for Yiseng. If If the skill is discarded, he gains 4 tremor count. If the skill is discarded, he also gains 4 tremor count. This one can be actually replaced, so not the Yi-Seng is different. Yi-Seng is a special boy. However, yeah, no, you can replace all of Yi-Seng's skill 1, no problem, because both of them on this card give you tremor count. But the first one is it's a 12 roller. No, sorry, an 11 roller. And it can become a 13 roller, and his skill 2 is locked as a 16 roller. So you can replace all of his skills once, no problem, but Otis need her skill 1s to be able to gain tremor on self. Got it. Let's get Lithograph, because that's healing on stagger. Let's enhance our Liquid Aroma. It's giving us... skill by strength level damage with skill instead. Let's enhance that, because that's extra damage when the enemy is staggered, or when we attack with a skill that inflicts tremor. This is pretty much the same passive we have on Otis, where she deals extra damage based on the stagger threshold raised by tremor. So this is pretty good for this thing. We really don't need the piercing skull or the wound clarity, but I'm going to save it for the next shop so we can fuse it into tremor gifts.
잠깐만, 천천히.
This card IDs are fun, man. I'll tell you what. Alright, let's discard the skill 1 to gain more tremor. And let's discard the skill 1 to deal more tremor. Discarded. And we have to remember that this card only happens on use, it's not on round start. If it was on round start, it would have been perfect. But unfortunately, it is not. Let's begin by throwing this one out here and this one out here. If we discard our skill tree, we gain nothing. So we are going to use it or we're going to lose it. That's the way gamblers work. Discard decks are fun. Slice! One thing we do have to consider, however, about these IDs, even though their skill 2 do not gain any power, they have really high offense levels. And so they benefit the most from having more offense levels. Alright, here we go. Stay calm is kind of garbage. We have enough to power up our skill tree here, and some more. Once again, I would like to apologize for the noise that you might be hearing. I do share this space with someone else, and this someone else is doing something on the kitchen that is quite noisy. So I apologize for that. Also, is my audio coming alright? I don't think it's... I don't know what happens with my audio sometimes that it decides that it wants to change. Like how sensitive it is. Alright, our skill tree is empowered again on Otis. Let's get some more charge, I guess this could be called. And so is Yi-Seng empowered. Again, if you don't use it, you lose it with a discard thing. I would say that this discard thing is more fun to use than the Deity Association. The Deity Association is really just engaging combat mode, you know? Once you discard a skill tree, you lock the bottom of your bar with the defense skill, so you stay on offensive mode. It's yellow charge, yeah. Alright, we are gonna empower our skill because we are gonna discard. So even if you're at 9 right now, we can use it. We have another magical number about using self-tremor here, is that we require 10 self-tremor for our skill tree, but if our skill tree is present and we discard our skill 1 with it, we gain 4 charge count, meaning that if we're at 6 tremor when we have a skill 1 and a skill 3, we can power up our attack no problem. Yi-Seng, go over there and gamble on that guy. Hello, Vigiglola, welcome to the stream. (28) on a daring decision because of the high offense level.
힘 조절이.
It's a good thing that we're getting used to this, like, fun to play discard IDs, because the next one that we're going to be seeing is not going to be fun. It's going to be horrible. It's going to be Molar Boatworks. Yep. Molar Boatworks Sinclair is kind of terrible. It's one of the lowest rolling IDs in Limbus Company. Here we go. We're taking some one-sided attacks, but I don't mind. Right now, Otis's ability to deal extra damage on a Tremor Burst isn't applying, because we really don't apply very good Tremor. We're mostly about gaining self-Tremor. But once we got some Ego Gifts rolling in, she's going to be dealing some decent extra damage, both for the Ego Gift and for her passive. Another daring decision, I see. Discard it, and we gain some extra. Oh, the cybers keep coming back. Let's investigate the factory. 11. Let's gain some more 4, more 4, and then we should be powered up, and we should be doubly powered up, honestly. Because it's going to... Wait, hold on. Discarding the first one, that's 4. Discarding another one, it's another 4. We're going to be at 19. Discarding another one. Yeah, we can power up our double tremor, mega tremor here twice. It's very nice. As for you, you will be taken care of. Well, since they were so nice to use block skills, let's go. One last round enjoyer. Do you believe? Is this a Xavier Renegade Angel reference? Are you asking me if I believe in God? What do you think? Why do you mean, do I believe? At 29, impressive, very nice. Also, I do believe that's your first time here on the stream. One last round enjoyer. Welcome. I don't like the city I live in. I say I do not. And I say once again, my good sir, I do not. Well, Hurtley is dead. Let's kill these guys. This thing should be more than ready to power that thing up. Here we go. 22, grinding the molars because of defense level differences. Otis and Yiseng, interesting combination. It is the Molar office. Unfortunately, we were missing the third member of the Molar office. I don't know why she was not included. There was Mika as well. But for some reason she wasn't included. I think it was supposed to be Ryoshu. But then again, these IDs were released back when the concept of a Walpurgis Snatch was not still in our, our director's brain. After hitting a non-staggered enemy by using a Gluttony Affinity skill or inflicting Tremor Potency, using skill effects randomly inflict a total of 4 Tremor Potency between all enemies and all other melody parts. Incredibly good, we shall be taking it. And it only raises defense levels, which we can offset with our own raised defense levels. Let's see here. If we go to Falling Flowers, the boss can be Dombe. And Dombe is bad for... Molar Boatwork Fixer is missing as well. Oh, no, yeah, that one's also missing. I guess she was just not a very interesting character. We could go for the Unloving, but I don't like the fight at the end against the neighbors. Let's refresh. Emotional Seduction. To be pierced is a nightmare. This is Crabs. I have once again pigeonholed myself into fighting Papa Bongi. Well, not pigeonhole. I don't think pigeonhole is the right term here for me. But yeah, going for Papa Bongi again. This is a unfocused long encounter, right? No, this is gonna be against Key Corp. No, this is chickens, so yeah, no, I'm not going there. We just two guys, I'm not going there. And now Yiseng is a beautiful pair of high heels. giving it extra power. It does give it a little bit of sinking.
느껴지지? 저것들이 아까부터 르렁대니까.
Not to worry, however, we do possess egos now. Haha! We can take care of this. If you do not know, Inquisitors are incredibly dangerous for solo duo characters because of the amount of debuffs they inflict. Bleed, paralysis, power down, and they don't inflict a small amount of it either. And to top it all off, they do inflict pierce damage, which we are weak to. Alright, discarding. Use it or lose it, as always. Daring decision, unpowered. Alright, let's get some more tremor up the nuts here. And we're gonna use our skill tree again unpowered because we don't have enough skill 1s to discard. 1, 2. Nice. Does the damage on Tremor Burst on ult is applied to Ego? Well, it does say that upon triggering Tremor Burst on an enemy, she inflicts 30% of the raised stagger threshold on a sloth damage. So I do not see why not. But it's just an extra 20 damage, and it doesn't have a limit on how many times it can be applied. So if we're popping this as an AoE, that is extra 20 damage per target. So I don't see why not. Well, kill that guy. There's nothing to pay attention here. Just kill him. We might have to. The next 2 nodes, I believe, are going to be blunt nodes as well. There's a high chance this is going to be the same guys again, so we're going to repeat the same tactic of popping Ego on the first turn to stagger them. Because again, Inquisitors are very dangerous. Most enemies that were designed during the initial Kantos, they were designed with the mindset of Library of Ruina, and that makes them exquisitely powerful, exquisitely dangerous. Exquisitely and extremely. If they had modern ID numbers, we would be fucked. Right now, modern IDs are just about having a lot of damage on their, on their pocket and not much of anything else, really. They have some, like, smaller debuffs that mostly apply damage, but we never fight an enemy that applies, like, 6 paralysis on you or several power downs. That's why I'm scared if they ever bring, like, the Inquisitors back and they go back to that same mentality. It's gonna be a problem for all of us, brother. Ooh, and look at that. Since we're gonna discard 2 cards, and I'm assuming this one's gonna clash first. Magical Arrow, tell me, who's gonna clash first? Alright. We're gonna power up our skill tree with no problem. Alright. And now she's gonna use the skill tree, discard a card, consume, and get powered up. All in a day's work. I do like her a lot. She's very fun to play around the tremor mechanic. Alright, we're at 1 tremor. It does decay per turn, so you have to remember that. You will be gaining 4 and then 4. So you're gonna use 1 unpowered skill tree and 1 powered one. We don't have enough tremor to trigger her skill tree again. So once again, discard deck, use it or lose it. That was the unpowered version. And now this is the empowered version, which isn't that much better. It's just an extra. This is a 0-0 ID, so don't expect too much power from him. This is not on like Kurokumo Honglu level of power for a 0-0 ID. There we go, we're at 5. Gain another 4, gain another 4. And here, yeah, you don't have skill tree, so we don't have to worry about it. Slice! And now an empowered skill tree coming for you, Bugman. 1, 2, 3.
힘들군.
Her passive is incredibly good for her, because once we got the Eagle Gift to apply like infinite tremor potency on enemies, that skill 3 of her procs Tremor Burst thrice, so she can deal an extra 60 damage for no reason. And if Honglu's passive activates, well, on a Sloth Resonance, that's potentially 80 extra damage. Oh, look at that, another Eagle generating gift. Yep. Gimme. Go for the droplet. Go on. The drunk heart is very good at converting what is technically Faust in a bottle. Oh look, more money. Fill with a sinner's blood. Alright, Sinclair, you know what to do. Go over there.
이게 아닌데.
Go get your blood donation out. Alright. We can get Oscillating Bracelet to inflict more tremor, which is nice. We can, let's see. We already have an ego generating gift, which is the Zippo lighter. So we can sacrifice the Wound Claret and the Pierce. Doesn't Base Foul have a skill with a slash in the name that it is base? Base Foul mean LCB Faust? Hey, Glupo's Eye! That's incredible. Polarization. Polarization is kind of useless for us, we can't use it. We'll save it until we need it to replace something else. Barrier Curse for 6 deployed identity. Like you mean Base Faust. Base Faust has all 3 types of damage. She has Pierce, she has Blunt, and she has Slash. We're gonna be taking Talisman Bundle for extra Rupture, because it's Rupture. Max that shit out. Max this one out. We're gonna sell Polarization for enhancements. It's a little bit of cost. Enhance. I can't enhance. Enhance the bracelet. We are going probably to the Time-Killing Time pack if we can get it, because I want to do the achievement of having like 15 tremor gifts if we haven't already. Papa Bongi, we are here, and we are going to slay you. Let's see what we can do here. You do not possess any slash, right? And you have a skill tree on your hand right now. You know what? Go with a Sun Shower. I don't want to deal with this Bongies. It's not the most optimal damage, but it will do for now.
한바탕 해볼까?
Make it rain, Yiseng!
우산이 세진 않나 모르겠어.
No stagger, but it did weaken them, so I don't care. It also gives us protection and sloth power up. No, sloth damage up, sorry. Middling damage, because it's not the type of damage. Boom, 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 boom. There goes Yiseng, whole ass sanity. It's time to build up some more sanity, boy. Alright, let's get her up. Here we go. I can take the damage from this, but I can't take the damage from this, so
한바탕 해볼까?
놀랐네.
we already see Gregor's passive activating healing us health. We also see Ishmael's passive helping us. It's very nice. Alright, we are going to be discarding and empowering our skill tree. Discarding to gain more charge. Kill. Kill. What's with her holding tails all the time? I know it's a 5% chance, and I say that's a pretty generous chance considering. But come on. Wait up. Nice stagger, nice heal. go.
옛날에 외부 강사로
Right,
뛰던
let's
걸
get you some
기억나네.
more charge so that when you are empowered, you can use your skill tree with wild abandon. So will Otis here.
침착하게.
One, two, three tremor bursts.
옛날에 외부 강사로 뛰던 것이
Right,
생각나네.
Yiseng is powered up, so he can do a little grinding on that boss. And honestly, we're just gonna kill it. Although that thing can dodge, so how about you don't? How about you don't dodge? How about that? Do you think about that? I do. Kill him.
착하게.
Hello, Killian. How are you doing? Chicken. We're cutting grilled chicken with a chainsaw today.
느껴지지?
How about you don't dodge and we just beat you to death? How about that, huh?
침착하게.
힘들군.
놀만치 노는
그러니
것
알아서
같은
잘
How
피해.
about you don't? Okay, what the fuck is up with my voice mod? It's not connected. That should be oh, yeah, we go. That's what was happening. Ah, my mistake. My voice should be better now. Because I was using the raw input for my microphone instead of using the voice changer I have. That makes my voice a little clearer. Ah, we got a little bit of booze for our booze girl. We do have lust. And I don't mind then having more HP. But we, this reduces the damage they take, and this is just more HP, so... It's a useless gift for us. Let's see, we got Degraded Gloom with the Genstone Oscillator. And we got a rebate token here. We could get something better, though. Spell of Judgment or Not Dying. I will take Not Dying, honestly. It's a level 4 gift. Come on. How are we going to ignore that on floor 3? Right. I don't want to fight the fish right now, so we're going to go up the upward path, which is an unfocused encounter that has a weakness to Blunt, Sloth, and Wrath, our main affinities. So this should be a breeze, unless they use Pierce attacks, which they do.
느껴지지?
Ah,
저것들이 아까부터
and they do have a lot of them.
딱 사냥하기 좋은 상태야. 이제
Let's clash against the Pierce attacks to decrease the damage we take. There we go.
한바탕 해볼까?
We could start with a eagle right away, but I don't like spamming eagles. We'll spam them if necessary if we have to restart the fight. The IDs must try to conquer the mirror dungeon on their own merits. We will use eagles, of course we will. I have all the eagles after all.
이만 지킬 줄 알았으면 빨리 좀 하지 그랬냐?
But we will avoid as much as we can using them. The military will be doing anything but be normal. What do you mean, Roland? Also, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Let's see here. It's use it or lose it, as always. So we have a skill tree. It's not empowered, but we are going to be using it. We can take blunt attacks easy. Slice attacks are... No, we can take slice attacks easy. Oops. Blunt attacks are normal for us. You are not charged up, but it's use it or lose it, as always.
침착하게.
1, 2, 3.
힘 조절이.
아재, 이것은 그 짝에 갖다 써야지.
Oh yeah, we also have Glupo's Eye now, so every time we Tremor Burst them, they become weaker and easier to clash. Glupo's Eyes is so powerful, man, the Melted Eyeball, because it affects offense and defense level down. That's incredibly strong. You are now charged up to use your chainsaw at maximum speed. We're gonna ignore the staggered guy because I don't want to take over one-sided attacks by ignoring someone. It's usually a bad idea, in general. Powered up chainsaw coming right up. Nice, very nice. So the clip of the military jousting with cleaning equipment, I see. I think I saw that one before, ages ago. Alright, we are empowered on Otis, but this guy is faster than us for some reason, so it is going to be like a one-sided. Oh my, he lost the clash. When he loses clashes or get hit, he loses a little bit of sanity because of the shoes he has. 1, 2, 3. And just kill him. No need to be fancy here, just hit a win rate. She's more than enough juice in that tremor tank. Dude, there we go. Every of the times tails every time. Of course, once again, people underestimate how 5% is common. I want you to once again think about a video game that you play. Any video game that has loot drop chance. Now, how many times have you got the item with a 5% drop chance compared to like a 1%? The same thing here. And we have extra damage from Bloody Gadget. Excellent. Most excellent.
좋은 경험이 되기를.
The pride wheels and more of them. We can take slash attacks, but it does inflict fragile. We can't take pierce attacks. We have to take care of those first. Again, skill tree on a discard team is use it or you lose it. Ooh, tree! I like the way she moves. It's very grounded. I like it.
그러지. 그것은 그 짝에 갖다 써야지. 별로 어려울 것
Like I said, they're really be doing anything but normal. Especially in our modern age, you really expect people that are willingly going to a battlefield to be normal. This isn't the Middle Ages anymore. Alright, skill tree on a discard, use it or you lose it. And we can't take slash just fine. 1, 2, 3, and it kills it.
그러니 알아서 잘 피해야지.
그런 것은
By the way, there's literally just a VTuber now that is just a.
옛날에 외부 강사로 뛰던 것이 생각나네.
The military is no longer going to be normal because they have to adapt to the modern age they live in. Because there is a VTuber that's literally just an ad for joining the army. Don't remember her name. It's very funny too.
침착하게.
Because the sense of nation has been eroded so much from everywhere in the world that people don't really feel the call of duty. Like, your country needs you. You gotta go fight, brother. You gotta go get in there. You gotta go do it. No one feels that anymore. No one cares. Myself included. And so recruiters are kind of desperate, getting desperate because no one buys into their bullshit anymore. Not even since fucking War on Terror, I believe. So yeah, don't expect the people that actually join the military to be normal in any capacity. And besides, because the way the battlefields have changed with technology and all of that, you don't really need that large of a standing army anymore. But it's still, you know, it's good. You need someone, because now it's all technology and drones and tanks, so you don't really need that many people. Combat has changed from formation fighting to, you know, technological superiority and extremely long-range combat. Anyway, I'm not here to give my opinions on the military because I am not part of the military in any way, shape, or form. Neither do I know anyone in the military, so I'm really just talking out of my ass here. Oh yes, like I said, Tomorrow we're going to be doing Molar boat works, try to see if they are as good as these two goobers here. They probably won't be because Sinclair is in the team. And the day after tomorrow, for Tuesday and Thursday, we are going to be doing some afternoon streams so I can finish I Divine Cybermancy on stream, because I like that game a lot.
좀 김이 빠지는.
And I gotta finish it on stream because I want to. And once I'm done with that game, I am going to try and stream Diamond Blade. And if that doesn't work, well, tough luck. Who are we gonna gamble on? Who are we gonna gamble on? All right, let's use the gambler. Go by Ishbel. Yeah, gambling, baby. Give me your nebulizer. Give me your asthma pump now. All right, here we are. We're gonna pick Wobbling Cag. That gives us Clash Power on +8 Tremor. And we can recover some of the count. Ooh, this is amazing for this team. Once we use our skill that consumes Tremor, our skill trees, they regenerate some of the Tremor count used, so we can keep pumping that. And we got the Voodoo Doll and Carmilla. We are on fun times ahead, baby. Now, let's see. We don't need this. This is kind of bad for... I'd rather enhance Carmilla. Let's see. And this one for extra damage. If you only could get a UPS system as well. But we could have used this as well. Let's go to 2 attack weight. Ooh, this is 252, right? We can sell this. The nebulizer, it's not that good for this thing. And we need to sell something else as well. We could sell the lithograph, which is healing on stagger. We have healing on hit. So we get this for 2 extra skill power on Sloth Absolute Resonance. That's good. It's very good. Will Boatworks Ishmo evade span be used? If necessity calls for it, yes. Again, we were gonna read in these daily streams that I do. We pop open the kit, take a look to see what they tick, how each ID tick, try to build a team around their specialties, and deploy them on a hard mirror dungeon for 5 floors. We usually take some gifts to help us along the way. But yeah, if necessity calls, we break the rule, because I'm not here to repeat the mirror dungeons if something fails. So for example, various times in previous streams I got filtered by crabs, because crabs are a menace against solos and duos because of how much rupture they apply, and since they start with like a gajillion slots and you don't gain slots as fast as them, and there's so many of them, you just sort of have to fug it out. So sometimes we have to break, like, oh, this is a solo duel, and bring some reinforcements from the backup to deal with an encounter, because I'm not gonna restart a dungeon because we couldn't do a fight, especially against crabs. But sometimes if I see a chance of victory with just the 2 characters or 1 character, even if one of them died, we continue. You can check the previous stream that I did, the Deviat Association, where Sinclair pulled out victory twice, I think. Yeah, twice, and that was very fun. But if the necessity calls for bolt work evade span, that will probably happen. But we can only use the bolt work evade span if we are on a focused encounter, and we are going to have 2 characters because we're bringing the Molar bolt works together, not just Ishmael on the front lines. As you may notice, I've stopped talking about the IDs right now, because we already see how they work and we already have a solid idea how they work. We don't need to be reiterating everything. So, empowered skill tree, and not an empowered skill tree here, but once again, use it or lose it. Let's check. Always consult the magical arrow to see who's gonna clash first. It is the skill tree that is going to go first, and it's gonna go unpowered, unfortunately. No, what? What the hell? It wasn't the skill tree. Huh. There's so much offense and defense level down on his enemies. Yeah, heal up, boy. You need that blood in you. There we go. Let's get some of this going on here. Absolute Lust Resonance. That's a little extra offense level for characters that already have a high offense level. If you did not know, Absolute Resonance do more than just activate passives. They also increase the offense level of the skills later into the chain. So the further down the chain we go on an Absolute Resonance, the more damage and the more offense level a skill receives. And these characters have incredibly high offense levels. They can do some serious damage. It's not a lot, it's not super game breaking, but hey, we want to squeeze as much power as we want from these goobers. One, two, three. And because we have incredibly high tremor application because of gifts now, we are doing the full 20 extra damage from Ota's passive, which is crazy. Do you love the city you live in? I say I don't. Good sir, I do not. I must insist once again, my good sir, that I do not love the city I live in. Good day. One of them died. Empowered skill tree coming up. Is there ego gifts that raises evade value or just sinner passives? Just sinner passives, I believe. From the top of my head, I can't remember any single gift that increases your defense powers. Only defense levels. But then again, you don't really need that much because let's remember something. Blocks and evades do not clash. And thus, they are unaffected by offense level fuckery. Something is burning.
그러니 알아서 잘 피해야지.
Something is burning. Example number one. Let's say you are fighting one of the Nurse Fathers. The Nurse Fathers currently have infinite offense level because you have made poor choices during your Mirror Dungeon Extreme mounting trials. How do you possibly deal with that infinitely clashing attack? Well, because he has offense levels, if you clash with a block or an evade, you negate every single offense level he has. And, well, until you can get that offense level under control, you can keep evading. Because you're going to be facing against his base rolls rather than his empowered offense levels. That's why I don't ever recommend taking final power, base power, and etc. Because that is affected by, you know, if you're trying to use an evade, that thing is going to count. So take offense levels if you can. Always take offense levels if you can. Alright, we got a free revive, and when winning a clash with a skill that applies, including yourself, tremor potency or count, we inflict number of remaining coins divided by 2, tremor potency on the target. So more tremor application for us. Poised Breathing has Nelly, the fuck-ass whale, Ken, and Ahab. I do not like any of these. Refresh, please. We don't like Walpurgis either, and we don't like Unrelenting Might, because Unrelenting Might has true bosses that have gimmicks that are planned for more than 2 characters. We're gonna pack search. We're not going to LSB checkup because it sucks. I don't like fighting Hohenheim with a smaller team. We are going to visit... Let's see. Do we have Time Killing Time, not the Bokgak? We do. Let's go visit Time Killing Time for a 4-4 and then Time Killing Time for a 4-5. My good sir, since you don't like the city, give me all the pantaloons stored in your inventory pocket. If you will, please. If it's not too much of a bother. Give me all your doubloons, please. If you do not give me your doubloons, I must insist that I shall be taking them from you by use of excessive force, possibly ending in your demise. Ah, tax time.
저것들이 아주
Next time! What are you guys weak to, actually? You guys are weak to blunt! Wow, convenient for me!
침착하게.
Nice stagger. It's because when I tried to evade Matthias' low SP broken coins, he rolls straight 20, and my evade were just 70, Aroma Ryosha. Yeah,
이 몸이 직접
so yeah.
빨리 좀 어디
If you're fighting their fathers, they have really base high rolls, especially Matthias. So you are kind of fucked there. I'm gonna be entirely honest. Ah, the Pierce!
완마 제대로 한 방 묵어버리시오.
Alright, let's try to protect him. Let's see, slash. We can take slash, we can't take pierce, so we can clash against that. Well, he's a stagger, so let's evade. Let's avoid taking the 4. I get weak to blunt, you get fierce attacks, pretty much. It's a very destructive battle. Ooh, he's flashing good, but not good enough, boy. I have myself high offense level. Now, one thing that we have to remind ourselves is that while we can maintain offense levels under control, every time we get a mounting trial, the enemy is going to level up. And when an enemy level up, his offense level goes up together. So right now they have 75 offense levels. That is from their level, and that is from the mounting trials. So yeah, you can get offense levels under control, and you can gain your own offense levels to compete with a offense level that is going too big and round, too big and bulbous for you to handle. Another thing that you can do is paralysis, though paralysis is a bit rare. That's why reverberation with downpour is a godly combo. Why do I say it's a godly combo? Simple. Downpour will apply tremor to every enemy on screen, and then it's going to pop it. It's very nice, it's very good. Reverberation applies bind and paralysis. Come on. Bind and paralysis to enemies that were tremor burst in the next turn, turning all of their coin into 0. So you don't have to deal with coin power if there's, paralyzed. However, paralyzed, you eventually run out of paralysis if the enemy has a lot of coin. And reverberation don't apply that many levels of paralysis, so you gotta keep that in mind. Alright, let's see here. You're gonna discard an 8. Yeah.
한바탕 해볼까?
Unlucky. You don't get true empowered skills tree. Wait, something's burning. I thought that was overkill. And because of Merso's passive, we are getting a little bit of shield every time we discard an attack, which is, always nice. Especially when you're fighting solo or duo, you don't want to miss out on having shields. Because you're going to be taking a lot of one-sided attacks at the beginning of every fight, because you simply do not have the slots to clash against everyone, especially if you're going for an unfocused encounter. So being able to gain a little bit of a health buffer on your thinner to avoid instant stagger is always good. Nah, there's someone else that's gonna check. One of the other mechanics that is really utilized in the game really is defense levels. While technically it translates to more damage for us and the enemies, I really hate how underutilized it is because most blocks kind of suck ass. There should be stronger blocks out there with higher defense levels so we get a truly powerful block. But the characters that can truly block are still kind of weak considering how much extra damage the enemy can get on top of you. Like if you take it as Y, for example, they get a lot of defense level ups, and when they use their defense skills, like Y Gregor, they got a really big defense level, usually bigger than the enemy offense level. They're gonna get hit, and they're gonna get a little bit of shield because of the roll of their defense skill,
그러니 알아서 잘 봐.
but they're still gonna be taking some damage.
예, 나 내 모든 것이 생각나네.
한바탕 해볼까?
예,
Alright, we got 2 empowered skill trees coming right up to kill these guys. Nice. Make it 3 empowered skill trees. Oh my.
한바탕 해볼까?
Say goodbye, brother. That's 1, 2, 3 tremor burst. One more time.
힘들군. 그런 힘들군.
놀만치
그러니
노는 것
알아서
같은
잘
게
피해야지.
Very nice, very nice. Welcome back, Acidic Trauma.
고생들이었다.
I just realized she's pulling out someone's arm here. Moving on, moving on. Next battle, please. It's a Pierce battle, and we do have some Pierce egos. It's these guys again. Are you weak to Pierce? You are. Huh. How interesting. How convenient, too. How about we team wipe you in the first round, brother? Say goodbye. Ebony Stan, one of the launch eagles that are still so good to this day. Very nice. I like the aesthetics of this attack a lot. First we pierce you from under, and now we're gonna pierce you from above, brother. Make it rain. Very nice. Not as high as I would have expected, but enough. Ow. They say guns aren't allowed to see. The guy has an arm cannon. You all got staggered. And I do believe this stagger is going to extend to the next turn as well. Do you know why they staggered? I think they staggered because of Dolly, the cursed voodoo doll. Oh yes. Let's get these fools. Gamble away, Yi Sang. Get me the hell out of Tailstown. Come on, Otis. Ah, unsatisfying turn, and they healed up. But we are getting our slots slowly back, so we are going to be just fine. And now we can actually clash. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3. Goodbye. And 1, 2, 3. And Ichi ni Sun. There we go. I love watching that attack. It's so fun. Come, point and laugh at the sun showered enemies. Yeah. They literally just got staggered because of the voodoo doll dealing fixed envy damage to them. All right. How convenient. You're all just letting me attack you. How nice. How convenient. Let's see. She doesn't have anything good here, so. Actually, now that I think of it, we could replace all of Otis' skills 2 for skills 3. And we skip the skills once so we can be discarded. Although, no, that won't be too good. It will only increase the amount of skills 3 rather than increase the amount of skill 1. Because we need to discard skill 1 to gain Tremor. Ah, later. Empowered. 2 empowers. 3 empowers, oh my! Death is coming for you, T-Corp boy! And it's the shape of a drunkard woman. Again,
그러니 알아서 잘 피해야지.
it's so odd that we have these IDs and they're not even from Walpurgis, because remember how we said I said that it's Dante that performs the extractions, and because the mirror is very biased towards the observer, and Dante having amnesia, he has no bias towards anything, so he just observes the sinners as they are, and because of that assumption he makes, he extracts something from the mirror. That's why we have like Ryoshu Kurokumo, you know? Because why that now, given that you know now about Ryoshu, why would Ryoshu ever join the Kurokumo clan? Follow the youth. Anyway, now why would she ever join the Kurokumo clan, given that the Kurokumo clan is affiliated with FUM and she has bad relations with every single one of the fingers? And so it's strange that we get the Molar office as a reward, because Dante doesn't know who the hell they are, and they weren't even from Walpurgis. They were just like, here's ID, have it. Yeah, they're staggered. They're staggered because of Carmilla. Time to die. And it's an unfocused attack. Do we have a... No, we do not. What a shame. It's really strange. I guess it was like a result of, you know, still defining some concepts around Limbus Company. It's very early. This is a very early ID, so... Ah, Pierce attack! No, my only weakness! Alright. We don't have anything charged up, so we're just going to attack. I hate that I'm faster than you guys, yet I cannot target you. This sucks. This blows. I hate it. Fuck you. Take Sun Shower.
힘들군. 그러니 알아서 잘 피해야지.
이 스며들 듯한 비 우산이 새진 않는
Filthy wet shades. Another curious thing here. Remember how this is T-Corp's nest? Look at the shithole, man. T-Corp is just bad. It's just a badly maintained place. Look, I get that the backstreets are supposed to be like the bad place in town, like slums or a third world country, but we've seen Virgilius walk around in Leviathan on some backstreet. I guess each district is really wildly different in their backstreets and their nests, because if this is the nest of T-Corp, Jesus Christ, this is a shithole. This is Birmingham. Alright, you are going to be discarding 1, so you're going to be getting 4, not enough, but again, discard team, use it or lose it.
한바탕 해볼까?
Daring decision. 1, 2, 3.
힘들군. 그러니
One more
알아서 잘
time.
피해야지.
1, 2, 3.
힘들군. 그러니 알아서 잘 피해야지.
Imagine how all tremor commons and having all tremor units that doesn't tremor multiple times in the same attack. Domain expansion, infinite debuff. That's pretty much it. It's the 7 tremor souls. I haven't gotten into the depths of how tremor and tremor superposition works, but I can tell it's a very powerful, like, oh, this is insanely powerful, but it requires so much setup that I'm not attracted to it. While don't shy away from complex IDs or complex mechanics, it's just that it requires so much setup and so much fidangling that I just rather use a bleed team and bleed the guy to death.
고생들이었다.
Chop time! Ooh, wrist guards, I'll take it. Extra damage is always nice. Lee-Sang can replace his skill 1 for a 2. We get ourselves a little tremor refresh. With faded watch case, sure. Interlocking cogs can't be activated, but I'll take it. Let's enhance some little gifts here. We don't have much money, so could reinforce the wrist guards so we get some guard going on. By fusing, we could make the watch case, but the watch case requires many sinners, I believe. And we do not have many sinners, so put that thing away. Put that damn thing away. Let's get this. Get this. Mirror tactile synesthesia. When an ally staggers an enemy with an attack skill, except the eagle skill that applies, including yourself, tremor potency or count, randomly apply 1/3 of the tremor potency on target between other enemies or a random abnormality part. If there are no enemies above, multiply tremor potency on target by 1.5 next turn. Very nice gift. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We just need 3 more eagle gifts to get the achievement. Incredibly nice, incredibly good. Let's get going. We're gonna fight the time killer now. With 2 guys? That's impossible. I was kind of forced into the team I use. Now I'm forced to use a burn trophy. Yeah, if you don't have like every single unit like I have, because I've been playing this since launch, you use what you can get. There's no shame in that. Let's deal with these little fuckers before they tick-tock us into death. They're ticking and they're talking. And 1, 2, 3. Stagger. We don't have to fear the Time Reaper because he will be Tremor Burst soon. And yeah, gotta clash against that extraction because otherwise we are screwed. Struggling. How about the following? How about the Sun Shower? I think it's my time we use the Sun Shower. Mutilate, are you afraid? We are good against Slash, we can take those, sort of, maybe. It's gonna do a 25 and it's gonna do a 13. Let's go. Sun Shower is both Sloth and Pierce, and he is weak to Pierce and Sloth. And it's also an AoE, gives us a nice little buff and a little bit of protection. It's a very good gift. It's a very good ego. And I do believe it recovers Yi-Seng's sanity over time as well, which is crazy because it's a wall level ego. Ow, ow. Ooh, that's a lot of bleed you apply there. Back in action. We have 4 slots now. We can deal with you. Sort of. We still need to Tremor Max you, but we're getting there. What we're saying, why don't you clash over here and I'll go handle that. Should have gone over there, you say. Give us your sanity back, boy, brother. And we are seeing the passive for Ishmael for recovering sanity working at full power here. That's pretty damn good. Ishmael we're talking about is Hanafuda Ishmael, where if you roll tails, or I mean, if you roll heads with a skill, you gain SP back. Wow, that hurts, brother. Are we powered up, Yi-Seng? No, but you will be once you use your skill. And Otis is more than ready. Empowered S3 coming right up for you, Mr. Time Killer, which we're going to be fighting twice. Maybe, I don't know. There is an achievement that I want to do in the future, which requires a rerun of the T-Corp units, which I do kind of want to rerun them because the last time I played with them, we left with a bad impression of them, but I wasn't using Time Moratorium correctly. And so we are going to do a rerun of them in the future. After we're done with Lord Lu and the Honglings, the Sheisholings, and the Boatworks Ishmaels, Boatworks Ishmael and the other one. Let me just write that down so I don't forget.
제법 보는 맛이
So
있던데.
it's Molar.
나머지도 싸게 터뜨려야 쓰겠지.
Get the Molar check. Both works. T Corp rerun. Go. Saved and saved. Let's get to the next stage without these creatures annoying us. And now, because we have an flopped Absolute Resonance here, we gain True Skill Power because of the level 3 gift from the Fox. Alright, face change, flash us. Oh dear god, he's naked! What's with the cyborg enemies in Limbus Company always stripping down and flashing you? We have Albina and we have Time Killer. What's up with that? Are all cyborgs perverts? Is this this the message here? Focus your attack. What's your block? It's a sloth. Good. Very good. We have an Absolute Resonance. The Ego gift for the... It's Sloth Absolute Resonance. Right, we don't only need 3 in a row. That's perfect. That is deliciously perfect. The trick here is that we're going to focus down on one brain and crush it into a fine paste. A fine red mist, you could say. And 1, 2, 3. Nice. We need more tremor, however. Spread that tremor on that boy. Make it jiggle. Commence the jiggling. I want to see those brains in a jar quaking like a bowl of jello. I don't think the voice mod allowed you to catch the horrible noise that was making my mouth. Yeah, it doesn't catch it. Unless I make it really loud. Then you beat me to saying a fine red mist. There you have it. Alright. Let's see here. We could empower ourselves with a +2 by doing a Sloth Resonance, but we are not going to do that. Instead, you are going to clash over here against this fool. Opposed. That's an unclashable, isn't it? No, it's very clashable actually. Neutral. I'll take a neutral.
한바탕 해볼까?
Ooh boy, I have more offense level than you. Oddly enough, he is incredibly resistant to Glupo's eye debuffs because he's made of multiple parts. Actually, I do not know if offense level affects individual parts or it affects the whole body. That's a curious question. But we don't have a testing room, and I don't want to pedangle with going a mirror dungeon or a XP farm to try and see if it only affects one thing or the other. Because if offense levels work the same way as defense level downs, ups work the same way as bleed, rupture, tremor, and other stuff, it will affect only the individual part rather than the whole body. But I don't know if it's the whole body. If you click here and go brain number 1 has defense level down, this one does not, and this one I don't know which one of these is using the skill, so kind of hard to tell. Punishment for time killers, huh? Alright, let's see your punishment then, boy. Offset your evades, gain true skill power up, and have Yi Sang rip you asunder. How about that, huh? How about that, huh?
한바탕 해볼까?
Satisfying.
우리를 아주 박살내버릴게야. 화끈한 맛이 아주 딱이야.
We are buffing Yiseng with the shoes so he can keep up with the clashes, but Yiseng is mostly exists here to do Sloth Resonance. And Sloth Resonance is good because that gives us a very nice... What do you mean? It's the blocks that are being a problem here? Psh, fuck it. Kill him. So the Sloth Resonance is going to give us more... Attack the Broken Brain. Focus your target. Go. Sloth Resonance gives us +2 on our attacks for every ally. It's very good. Sloth Resonance on an AoE. That's the Fox Statuette is really goddamn good. Because you pop an Eagle with an AoE, suddenly everyone in your team has 2+ more power. We need more time! Finish him!
그러니 알아서
Very
잘 피해야지.
nice.
이제 싸게 치워.
Ironically enough, the time killer usually takes a lot of time to kill.
고생들이었다.
Let's see if we can get a long pack for this one, long battle, instead of a full pack. Give me a random gift. Ah, thank you! Biocanister Vial. Now things are going to explode as soon as they enter. Got a Chalice of Trickle Down, I'll take it, and increase their HP, sure. I think we have 15 Eagle gifts now. Oh, god damn it! Back, I got a strawberry yogurt. Mmm, tasty. Heartbreaking. Tyrannical Pride. No, how about no, huh? Line 4 Masquerade. I do not wish to fight MVP Catula because MVP Catula are mean. And I do not wish to fight them with a duel. Let's go to... there's not a lot of long packs for floor 5. Just kind of a shame. I like the long battle packs. We could go Spring. By Madness. Remending. Should the listeners remind you of yourself the most? Of myself? Ooh, that is a rough question, Acidic Trauma. Let's see. Not Gregor. I never been into something big, and I don't have like survivor's guilt of any way, shape, or form. Not Otis. Not Sinclair at all, although everyone can relate to Sinclair at some level, given that I have read his base stuff. And not, I feel like battling Santo. I'm gonna battle Santo. Not Sinclair. Don Quixote in some aspects. More specifically, the waking up to reality kind of thing. More like maturity. Because Don Quixote, the original tale, has Don Quixote ending on a depressing note, but Sancho Panza carries on his flame, so to speak. Faust, I don't know nothing about Faust, so I really don't have a opinion. Go Yisang, you can do it. Gamble. Gamble, gamble, gamble. Here we go. Single coin gamble. It's fine. Merso, definitely not, and not that autistic, although I can relate to him in some aspect. From his book, really. I can relate to some aspects of him. Rodion... No, I don't think myself that special in any way, shape, or form to consider myself above humanity. Ryoshu, not at all. Heathcliff, no, I didn't have an abusive family. I have a pretty good family, as a matter of fact, at least my mother. So I don't have like that much of an abusive family that I could relate to, or a love of my life that I could dedicate my heart and soul to, like some sort of magical fairy tale, which is, you know, kind of like Wuthering Heights is all about. Their love is destined to happen, but everything gets in their way. Who am I missing? Ishmael, yeah, I related to Ishmael a little bit. Reminds me a little bit because for the longest time I felt just as lost as her from finding job and finding what I want to do in life. Still haven't reached an answer to that. I don't think no one does. Who else are we missing here? I think we covered everyone, right? So I guess to answer your question, sort of, would be Dawn and a mix of Dawn and Ishmael, a little bit. Honglu, maybe a little bit, but not the same way as him. More like the whole thing about living life and not worrying about anything, but not in the same way, nihilistic way as him because of his trauma. More like I just accept that things are shit and they're gonna keep being shit, but I can change that. So there is a little aspect of Honglu that I see myself reflected on. I see some aspect reflected on Don Quixote as well, but mostly Ishmael. I guess.
한바탕 해볼까?
Is there anyone we're missing from the list of sinners? House, I don't know anything about her. I haven't read her book. We only get the thing that she's being like, not diminished, like humiliated by her peers, I suppose, on the Discord server. Yisang, oh, forgot about Yisang. How could I forget about Yisang? No, I don't see anything on me on Yisang. I wasn't that depressed and like giving up on life like he was in his book or in the Limbus story. And so, yeah, Dawn, Ishmael, and a tiny little bit of Honglu. Merso, another as autistic as Merso. I don't have survival guild as Gregor. I am not trapped between true words like Sinclair is trying to find his way forward in this like new strange life already. I'm 31 years old. I already passed that point of like accepting that I'm an adult in the world of the dark and scary place. Yeah, it's mostly Ishmael. Mostly Ishmael. And I don't like her very much either. I mean, I do like her because she has a lot of like Japanese IDs, and I do love me a good katana. So, but I'm not really a fan of her at the personal level. Just all right. That's what I'll say. With a bit of Don Quixote and Mercer, a little bit of Sinclair. Yeah. In a way, I see myself mostly reflecting on Ishmael, mostly because she's like trying to find her own path. She's already an adult, but kind of like doing the 9 to 5 and not sure what she's gonna do, and she just joins the whale ship. That part is the one I like relate the most with her. As for actually going to a horrible journey and meeting horrible someone that leaves a scar in your life, never had that happen, thankfully. Even the one relationship I had in my life, the one girlfriend I did have, was not really by my will. She just kind of forced herself on me, and that was the single one relationship I had in my entire life, and that's it. That was when I was like, what, 22 years old, 21? Long time ago. I'm 31 now, and I never had another relationship in my life, and I'm doing pretty well. Pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with my life, impoverished as I am. It's just that the one part of Ishmael that I say I relate the most is this one: what am I going to do with my life? Like, how am I going to move forward? What do I do? I've been teaching English. I've been having a pretty fun time with it. I had recently a meeting with my with the not the owner of the school, what's the name, coordination of the school, and they gave me some feedback, and pretty much I have all positive feedback from all of my students, and so that's pretty nice to hear. The streaming thing here is also going well. We're getting more views, we're getting more people on chat, which is always nice, and thank you very much, all of you, for being present here during these daily streams to hear me yap about Limbus, yap about IDs, see me play bad video games and be bad at video games in general. Thank you all so much for that. So, I'm finding my way in life, even though the gig as a teacher doesn't pay really a lot. But then again, I don't have a lot of slots open. I should open more slots for students so I can get paid more, or find a school that pays more. Honestly, that's what I should be doing for a long time now, and I haven't. All right, we got a slop absolute resonance. That means it's time for plus true power and everything.
때를 다
I'm only here because of OG5K, my brother. Oh, dude, if he's present, dude, thank you,
한바탕
OG5K,
해볼까?
for recommending it to your friends. See, it works. I could make the channel go a little bit further. I could like start shilling it in other places or open a Discord server or something. But I don't want to handle a Discord server. I don't have anyone to moderate that I trust like fully. So right now I'm just gonna stick to posting stuff on Twitter and announcing it on different servers I trust. But yeah, no, it's going steadily. I do have to make some videos at some point. I have to make the time for it. Learn a little bit more of editing to truly bringing some numbers, because right now I only have some old videos. Maybe I will do like a channel trailer, something of this like. Maybe. I'm considering. But I have like a billion other things. Only here because they opened YouTube. Well, nice to have you here, old meme. Also, welcome. Here we go. We are kind of stomping these creatures once we have the slots in. So there's not much to talk about the IDs right now, which is like the point of the entire stream. But they're very fun to play. Even for older IDs like this, they clash well and they do pretty good damage.
힘들군. 그러니 알아서 잘 피해야지. 힘들군. 그러니 알아서 잘 피해야지.
It's very nice. I like the drip they have. They're very nice IDs. I thought they would be a lot weaker given their age, but they are still pretty strong. They have the baseline 11 roller for skill 1, 16 roller on skill 2. So they, despite their age, they can clash very well. They're just kind of fragile because of their very low defense levels, but they can clash good. They have high offense levels. I was thinking of maybe trying to replay some of the Kantos to get some more lore, and I missed, but that would take a while as well. And no one here is to watch me play the older Kantos. It's not going to be a genuine first-time reaction, it's just going to be me playing it again, so yeah. Any information I might need, I'll probably go check on a wiki or something. Yeah, I'm gonna ponder on these questions now. I need to make videos. I need to make a video to put on channel. Maybe yeah, gotta make the greeting video, opening video for the channel, and then maybe do the offense level explanation I wanted to do, and some other stuff. I do have plenty of good Limbus company footage to have it work, and I can probably gonna have to make some for the video itself. It's just that editing videos takes a long time, and yeah. Between work and gym and streaming and the house and everything else, studying, that doesn't leave a lot of time for editing videos. And it's hard to justify spending so much time on the computer. Again, it's a recurring theme I say often. But you know what? Things will be better. Things are always better. Things always get better. I made a mistake of scrolling down the rewards for the mirror dungeon shit, and now I want the effect stuff from my tick rewards. Doing achievements is kind of easy. Just, you know, lock in. Oh wait, yeah, no, it's easy for me to say. I have everyone. Oops. But then again, you don't need to complete all the achievements because you have the what's it called? The projection, which gives you XP for the achievement things. I am currently biding my time to collect all the achievements in a single click because it's gonna be funny. Doing good, doing good. Kill that gnome, kill that gnome, kill that gnome, kill that gnome, and I do say, so kill that gnome. Wait up. It's amazing how much she can do in a hangover, man. The stuff that I drink usually, it's just sugarcane rum, cachaça. It's designed not to give you a hangover. Unless you drink too much, and then that's a problem. There it is, the Jolly Fat Man! Oh, yeah, we're gonna kill the Jolly Fat Man! What the fuck was that sound I just made? Hold on, flash here. Flash. Flash and clash. So you clash over here with this enhanced skill tree, and over here with your skill 2. And then we target the sack. Chainsaw to the gift sack, oh no. Be the comfort. Be the joy. I do believe he's resistant to sloth. Is he? He is. That's why they're not doing any damage. He's resistant to sloth, which is our main damage type. Ooh, that is bad. But he's weak to wrath, which we could use instead. It's not gonna be as flashy, but it's gonna do more damage. Same thing here. How about you don't use that defense skill, huh, buddy? Yeah! Fuck you. You don't get to use your skill to get empowered. Only we get to be empowered here by Tremor. Grinding the molars. Say goodbye, Jolly Fat Man. It's time for your gift sack to be broken and spread all over the place. That there, use that here, use dagger, so it's double damage. Here, 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 and here. Go! I know some of you really want me to go like further than 5 floors when on these daily mirrors dungeons, but I already explained, 1, that takes time, and 2, I don't think it's that interesting, because anything that you're going to be facing on the previous floors with low ego gift is pretty much the same you're going to be facing in the future. And once you can't win a clash, you're probably just going to hit, you know, an ego and just use it. And again, time is the main of the essence here. And I don't think that is that interesting to watch. It just really understand your ego gift alchemy and you can beat all the 15 floors easy. If you're looking for achievements or shards, just do the 5 floors quickly. But there we have it. 66% damage from Otis. Pretty damn nice. I do believe they perform better than the Deviant Association. Final thoughts about Molar Office Fixer Otis and Molar Office Fixer Iseng. They are very fun to use. Once you understand how their discard and their Tremor acquisition works, you can pop out enhanced skill trees all the time. Granted that they don't really enhance it that much. These are older IDs. They only get pretty decent numbers. We say decent numbers because we have to compare them to recent IDs that are rolling on the 30s easily. They roll up to, 26 and etc. So here we have it. The Molar Office Fixers run. I recommend these IDs? Yes. If you can get them, they're pretty good. They're nice. They're very nice. They're fun to use. The gamble ability is very nice. Just understand how their discard work and how to acquire the Tremor to empower your attacks. And you are golden. They are not very good at applying Tremor, but once you have some Eagle Gift going or some other units to support them on the Tremor application, they are going to start dealing more damage. I just finished the run, Armageddon Games. Sorry. We really just finished. You can, however, review this stream once we close it down on YouTube. It is saved on a public playlist. So, with that said, let me just collect my stuff here. Haven't been doing my XP excavations because I'm trying to save on modules. Since I am doing a daily mirror dungeon, it is consuming my modules like crazy. But hey, it's pretty good. In any case, that is it for today. Thank you all so much for joining up today to watch the Molar office fixers take on 5 floors of the hard mirror dungeon by themselves, with a little bit of support on the side. I wish you all a good Sunday, and as usual, if you enjoyed the stream, please recommend it to your friends, but if you did not, recommend it to your enemies. Tune in tomorrow for Molar Boatworks Limbus 5 Mirror Dungeon. With that said, bye-bye, and have a good one. Sorry about that, Armageddon Games. Usually it's a 2-hour stream. Until next time, bye-bye.